All right, well, welcome to the Nebraska breakout session for the CSK5 National Summit. And so my name is Jacqui Garrison, and I'm with the Nebraska Department of Education. And we're going to do kind of a round robin, just share out of resources and what we have to offer in Nebraska. And we're going to end at 3 o'clock because several of us have events happening, but please use the chat feature or unmute yourself and ask questions as we go through, because we want this to be kind of an informal, formal event, but this is all for you that are joining us in here to learn. So with that, I'm going to kind of kick things off and share a little bit about the data behind computer science and what we are seeing. And I know this is geared for elementary, but I'm going to share a little bit about what we have for data for the high school, because that will kind of inform some of the things that we want to do with the elementary and why it's important that we start the students off at a younger age and start to build up from the bottom versus coming from high school, college, and then down. So with that, I'm going to share the mission of the Nebraska Department of Education is to lead and support the preparation of all Nebraskans for learning, earning, and living. And I'm going rather quick because I want to make sure we get through everything here today. So stop me if I'm going too fast. So the majority of our students are participating in a career and technical education course in high school. And the reason that we're highlighting this is because computer science in the high school and middle school is housed in our career and technical education. So we have 80% of our 7th through 12th grade students participating in that CTE course. See if I'll go through. So programs of study are the program pathways. And so as we look at that, we have 102 schools that are offering a program of study within information technology or the communication and information systems, which houses the computer science. Here is the student participation. So I want to highlight this. You can see there the information technology area. We have just over 16,000 students in 2020 and 2021. So last school year that participated or took a course within information technology. And you can see the other ones there as well. And then as far as our CTE concentrators and the graduation rates that we have 93% of our CTE concentrators. And those are students who are taking 3 semesters within one of those pathways or the last 2 courses. So we're looking at the intermediate and capstone course. So a program of study is a sequence of 3 semester courses, but then we look at the concentrator as taking those last 2 semesters within that pathway. So if we can get our students to that point, there's a 93% graduation rate among those students. And then overall, our state graduation rate is at 88%. And so you can see the breakdown as well within those concentrators and just the general student population amongst the different populations and the special populations that we have reports for. And so again, so we have the 84% are going on to that post-secondary institution, whether it's a 4-year, a 2-year college. And then we have 13% that are going right into the workforce. And then we have 2% that are enlisting into that military. All right, and then here are the numbers just for computer science. So these are the computer science data points that we pull for career and technical education, just for grades. So we look at the middle school and high school reporting. So we have 10,748 students that were enrolled in a computer science course. So a middle school or high school course within computer science. Of those students, we have 318 teachers throughout the entire state, just in middle school and high school, that are teaching or offering one semester course. We have 140 schools, middle school or high schools, that are offering computer science course. And then of those 10,000 students, we have 397 of those students who took an AP or advanced placement computer science exam, whether it was the computer science principles or computer science A there. And then overall, I'm going to highlight the graduation rates. So for the concentrators within the computer science courses, we had an 85% graduation rate for those students who took that intermediate or capstone level course within the computer science courses and programs of study that we offer. Okay. All right, so with that, in Nebraska, we just are going through our standards revision at the middle school and high school, and then looking to align those through our implementation plan. And so at the middle school and high school, we will have new standards that we have worked with business and industry through featuring panels and stakeholder engagement meetings. And then as we kind of look through that pathway and making sure that we have aligned programs, we will also look to update and revise within the next 5 years, the K-12 technology scope and sequence, and making sure that what we have there aligns to what we have at the middle school and high school as well. As far as the Nebraska Department of Education and within my role, some of the things that have been on in the works and that we are working towards is to create that sustained professional development for teachers in preschool through 12th grade around technology and computer science. So you're going to hear from several groups today that are offering that professional development and opportunities for our teachers throughout the state. And then with the standards revision and the updates to our standards, we will have a K-12 computer science and information technology implementation guide that will also house resources that are high quality instructional resources that teachers can utilize in their classroom, and then also highlighting the curriculum resources that are available in those areas. And so as we look into 3 years and 4 years down the road, increasing those networking opportunities for teachers in the areas of computer science and technology, increasing workshops and opportunities for students to showcase knowledge and skills through competitions. And then as we have built those students and getting those knowledge and skills and those course opportunities to them, is taking a look at those for high school students, is those work-based learning opportunities. So we can start to build our tech workforce internally. So what can we do to prepare those students and start to integrate them to show them what Nebraska has to offer in these areas for future employment? All right. And so I talked about the K-12 technology scope and sequence. I want to highlight just a few things here. And so this is a document that showcases what levels and what grade levels should have the different elements and standards introduced, reinforced, and then have earned mastery at. And so these are the areas that are in there. And so we have anywhere from basic technology to the office applications, and then down into the digital literacy, citizenship, through computer science. So I'm just going to highlight one here because I know in the essence of time. So you can kind of see what this looks like, but here's the standard, and then here are the different grade levels in which the introductory should happen, the reinforcement with the R's, and then M stands for mastery. So, and look, I can't see the, oh, I got the chat. Here we go. All right, so I'm gonna skip ahead because next on our agenda, we have the Code.org regional partnership with Dr. Guy Trainin to share a little bit about the data points that they are offering and that they are seeing.
All right.
Chat. So go ahead.
All right, so I'm Guy Trainin. I'm a professor at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, and we have partnered with Code.org to make sure that we are providing professional development for teachers at all levels, elementary, middle school, and high school across the state. And I'd like to share a few things, so if you can move to the next slide. This is our team, and the important thing is not to remember everybody that's involved, but to know that part of the goal of our work with Code.org is to make sure that we're building an infrastructure of facilitators and experts locally, so we don't have to keep bringing people into the state to do the work. Next. There was a brief talk about what Code.org does. At the elementary level, we've got CS fundamentals, and that's how we're introducing computer science and building and preventing that thing that they talked about, which is that chance that you're getting the same dose over and over again. So CS fundamentals has 6 courses, each one is 10 to 25 hours, and that presents the opportunity to introduce the basics. And what is important about all of the components for Code.org is the curriculum itself is free for schools. There are no barriers to access. As long as you have computers that are connected to the internet, you can use this curriculum. All right, next. So across the state, we have, this is a map of the schools using Code.org, and you can see that this is a fairly large number. This is over the last few years. And what we're seeing is some schools have the opportunity to use this, and we've got a few teachers that are leading, and then sometimes it goes away and it comes back. We can help that because this is happening whether there's training or not for teachers. But let's go to the next one. You can see that we've trained almost 400 teachers across the whole state to use the Code.org curriculum. At the elementary level, which is the level we're talking about today, we're talking about 1 or sometimes 2-day training that launches into successful engagement in computer science. At the middle school and high school level, we have actually used we use a full week in the summer and follow up throughout the year to make sure that these are happening. And one of the good news is that we are adding for next year computer science, the AP computer science. And so that's a new course that we will offer for teachers next summer. All right, next. Where do we still have challenges? And this is based on the data we have from Code.org. Our biggest challenges are in rural communities and smaller towns. That's where there's about half the students or less than them that are being served with the opportunity to learn about computer science at the elementary, middle, and high school. And from a race and ethnicity perspective, Native American students are least likely to have access. So these are the things that we've been working on for the last 2 years, and we hope by next year we'll present more. But part of it is finding schools that want to work with us and will provide the materials. For those areas where the numbers are still low, we actually can provide all of the support for free, even the professional development. For other schools, it really depends, although we're trying to make it accessible to as many teachers and as many schools as possible. Next. This is some of what teachers receive if they participate. So we do provide the professional development in the last few years online, which gave great access to more rural districts. We've got curriculum guides that are printed. We've got some swag to use around the classroom, to use for the teachers. The curriculum, as I said, and all the tools that come with it are free, and you can start accessing it this afternoon. Register and start using. That's not a problem. And we'll provide ongoing support as well. And we are also supporting some Hour of Code events throughout the state. So that's coming up as well. And last one. So what is next? We keep educating teachers. One of the good things that happens, because I'm a teacher educator, is with my colleagues, at least in those who are the future elementary teachers, because we're talking about the lower grades, future elementary teachers that are going to UNL do get some experience with computer science, teaching computer science, working with robots and those kind of things in a way that integrates STEM and other areas into the curriculum. So they are coming prepared to engage. We are increasing the number of lead teachers or facilitators. So we have this more robust infrastructure. We are expanding. We are getting funding to outreach for schools to support principals and counselors in the way that they are learning about computer science and knowing how to guide kids into those classrooms in an effort to increase participation, and especially with populations that are participating less. We're organizing opportunities for small schools. We're doing online work. And if you have a school that can get together with other schools and get a few teachers together at the elementary level, or if you are large enough to do it all on your own, if we have 8 teachers or more, we can put together a workshop at no cost to you. So just let us know. We will work it out. We'll provide it in person if can, if not online. Our goal is to make sure that parents and administrators know about this, get ready for this. We offer the classes, and we really make some change. And at the same time, because I'm a university person, it's also about research.
Awesome. And if you have questions about the actual trainings, I've invited Kylie Lewis to join us. As you noticed on the slide, she is one of our facilitators that helps lead those professional development events. So feel free to ask her questions. We can use the chat. But next, I'm going to turn it over to Jona Van Deun, the president of the Nebraska Tech Collaborative.
Hey all, I'm so excited y'all could join us. Really excited about the work that Jacqui and Guy, Kylie, everyone's doing on this computer science side is really helpful to the group that we represent. So can you go to the next slide, please? So this is really interesting. The Nebraska Tech Collaborative was created a couple of years ago, and our sole focus is to develop, attract, and retain tech talent and entrepreneurs in the state of Nebraska. Every state is experiencing what we call brain drain. And so we are a group of businesses, so businesses from across the state who actually had been lamenting about their challenges in finding tech talent. And so we decided, instead of everyone going and retreating to their different silos, that if we could really convene this group of business leaders along with our friends at education, other not-for-profits, government, that we might be able to actually solve or alleviate some of the pain points that we're having. And one of these pain points that we keep talking about is, are our children truly prepared for this next generation of careers that are occurring? Next slide, please. So how we do this? So again, we were created in the middle of COVID, so it made it for really very interesting for us to watch us measure all of these things. But our 4 main goals are: how do we grow the tech talent workforce by 10,000 by the year of 2025? And so again, I know we're focusing on K through 5, and again, they're going to be my next set of goals, but really, how do we get those students prepared to take more AP computer science classes? I think Jacqui or Guy had a slide up that said that kids by ethnicity have access to computer science. How do we take that conversion and actually get them to take those computer science classes? And I think, as Jacqui said before, is that tech is no longer in a vertical by itself. It crosses every single thing that we do. So we really want to be able to grow our own pipeline, our own Midwestern talent. Of those 10,000 new tech workers, 40% should be female, 20% should come from underrepresented groups. When you saw Jacqui's data on who's taking those computer science classes, it was mostly men. Only, I think she had 17% were female in some of those. And how do we boost those numbers? Our third goal is to create new technology companies. So new entrepreneurs. The only way we're going to grow as a state is if we grow more companies, we grow more businesses, we create an exciting place for folks to grow and learn. And finally, participating on this today helps us reach goal number 4, which is how do we increase Nebraska's tech profile? That we've got some really amazing people that are building some great companies. Our friends at UNL working with code.org, Jacqui has been absolutely amazing, especially making sure that we scream from the rooftops the successes that we're having in education and being able to talk about those and why this is such a great place to live and work and have a family. Next slide, please. And so how do we do this? Like any good group of CEOs, I'm afraid to say we work by committee, but it also allows us to move a lot quicker because, as you can imagine, most people have one boss, and I've got 125 who all have their ideas on how we're going to solve these challenges in workforce. And so we created these committees, as you can see here. But the great thing about these committees is nothing's off the table, and people are willing to experiment and try things. And if they fail fast and pivot and try something else. So we've had a really great success with this. And again, on PK through 12, which Jacqui's a part of, we've been able to help Jacqui out in contributing to those implementation guides, contributing to those featuring panels on K through technological proficiencies that kids should have in K through 12. Next slide, please. Jacqui's like, and then I was trying to keep it fast for Jacqui. So again, happy to take questions at the end, but if you really want to see what we're up to, check us out. We're all over social media, as you would expect, but we're really highlighting what's really happening in the state. We're highlighting students who are doing amazing things in robotics and AI and virtual reality. We're watching great things that teachers are doing, the work that code.org is doing, and really, again, capitalizing on the successes that we're having here in the state. So again, if you want to check out what we're doing, check us out on social media and let us know that you're following us. Thanks, Jacqui.
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much, Jona. And next, I'm going to turn it over to Kimberly, who is the president of the Omaha Metro CSTA chapter, to share a little bit about what they do. And get the slide to change. There you go.
Thank you so much, Jacqui. Yeah, so we have 2 CSTA chapters in Nebraska, actually. We have a Huskers one located in Lincoln, and then we have this one, which is Metro Omaha. But we actually have members from Wyoming and Iowa. We just kind of, whoever wants to join can join. Go ahead and go to the next slide, please. So this is some of our kind of, not mission statement, but just some information about us. But let's go ahead and skip that one and go to the next slide. This is a good one. So we have lots of resources. I know in the other one, we heard a lot of the great things that code.org has been doing and a whole bunch of different things. So csteachers.org is our website. Actually, we're now a global organization. We now have chapters, I can't remember the exact number, but in different countries all over the world. So, but anyways, one cool thing that you can do, it's free to join if you want to join csteachers.org. There's a sign up area. Otherwise, you can join in on, we have some podcasts. And so I have a hyperlinked here. I don't know if they're going to be getting, well, you can probably just Google CSK podcasts. CSTA. We also do Twitter chats every now and then where we have just have people like teachers ask questions with the hashtag CSK8. And so you can hear from other teachers, you can hear from business people just about ideas and just kind of see what everybody else is doing. We also have a dedicated virtual communities that you can join if you become a member, where you can actually join a dedicated K-8 virtual community, and there are blogs, there are articles, any specific resources that you can look for there. We also have a link to virtual teaching resources, but most of them work in person too. So it's just labeled that. We have a yearly national conference that is just jam-packed full of information. And then we actually have a whole bunch of local chapters too. All right, next slide. So I'll talk about our local chapter, the Metro Omaha one. We frequently have community guest speakers. We've had people from various cybersecurity businesses around. We just had OPPD come speak about stuff. We've had a professor from Bellevue University who's given TED Talks. We've had him talk. Another thing that UNO has, and maybe Lincoln has this too, I'm not sure, but they have computational thinking bins. So what you can do is build your own, or you can probably check some out. And it's just got like sub activities where some of them are completely student led, and just to work through different computational thinking things. Also with that, UNO has the lending library. So if you want to try out Sphero robots, but you don't want to have your school buy them just yet, you can actually check them out from UNO and then just, do a lesson with them or whatever, and see how it goes and see if it's something that you'd like to do. So sorry, I'm in school. Anyways, we have monthly meetings. We have different professional development activities. We also do an hour of code stuff every year in November December before CS Ed week. So yeah, we're going to be doing some field trips and stuff coming up too. So we'd love to have you join. Most of our stuff is virtual, so you don't have to come in person. But yeah, all right. Well, thank you so much. Let me know if you have any questions.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for connecting. The resources that we shared today will be shared through the link and through the webinar after the event. So we did record this, so it will all be shared. So I will, if you have any questions, I know there were a couple in the chat, and I will follow up and get some of that information sent. But are there any additional questions? I will give you a second. Otherwise, that is the end of our breakout session. And we look forward to sharing more with you and working with you to increase our computer science footprint in the state of Nebraska. So thank you, everyone.